Hey guys, it's Mike from On Point Craps, and today's video is all about my trip to Atlantic City with my friends from Crap Nation and how we walked away with over $4,000 of the casino's money. Hey guys, welcome back to On Point Craps. As I said, this video is all about my trip to Atlantic City with friends from Craps Nation. Kind of all started when John from Pro Craps, who lives in Washington State but is originally from New Jersey and has some family out there, kind of gave us a heads up that he was taking a trip to visit friends, and we thought, hey, might be a good idea to get a bunch of us together and go play some craps. So he was kind of the center of gravity that we all revolved around to bring this together and make it happen. So there's a couple different YouTubers there. Obviously, John from Pro Craps, myself, Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps, Chris from Dice Degen, and then we had a few other people that are in Craps Nation. Altogether, there was 7 of us there that were all part of Craps Nation and were fellow YouTubers, and just it made for an awesome time. So we all got to Atlantic City at about 10 o'clock in the morning, and we linked up at Harrah's Casino, and unfortunately the one table that was open was full. So we walked around, we looked for a place to eat, nothing was open, so ultimately we ended up getting back to the table area, and they opened up another table for us. It was at the $15 level, so that was one of the things we were looking for. We were trying to avoid any $25 tables. When we first showed up, I think the table that was open was a $10 table, but it had moved to $15 by the time we actually started linking up. But we ended up playing all day, 5 hours at least. I think we started just about 11 o'clock, and we played till just after 4, and the table stayed $15 the whole time. It was great. We all walked away winners. I think I was one of the least winners. I only ended up netting $60. I was up and down the whole day. I will be doing a video on the strategy that I ended up using that brought me back. At one point, I had like 100 and some dollars left out of my starting bankroll. I had $300 that I ended up getting an additional $200 before I actually went to the table. So my starting bankroll was $500. And I was down to like my last $110. I went 110 inside, and I'll show you what I did there. But started off great. Ted, one of the players from Craps Nation, he started off. He had a long roll. And then Clay, another Craps Nation guy, he had a long roll. Then it was John's turn. I think his roll was a little short. Kind of feeling out the table, but it wasn't too bad. Then Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps, he went on a tear. He had a 40 roller. It was crazy. That helped me bring back some money. Came around my first turn. I 0.7'd out. I was using a cross 6, the 6'5", 6'4". Didn't work for me. I think I hit a 5 for the point, and then I 7'd out. I didn't have a good feeling about it. Anyway, I didn't know the table, hadn't played it before, wasn't too sure what that dice had. I actually made a comment to John, and he said, "You don't feel right," and he bet on the don't. I'm not sure if what strategy he was using, if he was doing like the horseman or something. But I at least won him his bet on the don't because I PSO'd. Went back around, again, the same shooters. They had some pretty long rolls. I think that time, the next time around, Jeff may have had a PSO. And then when it came back to me, I had a 14 or 17 roller. Can't remember really what it was. I think it might have been a 14 roller, but above average. Altogether with the rolling, most people there, we averaged in the high teens to the 20s. It's amazing. That's why we all became winners. If you know Greg at 555, he loves to play the dark. If he was on the table with us, he'd have been killed. It was definitely a light side table. Everybody there walked away a winner playing the light side. As I said, we ended up netting over $4,000 between us. It was a great time. If you ever get the opportunity to just go play with some friends, I went there with my bankroll knowing that I may lose it, but I was there to go play with friends and have a good time, and it was amazing. We hit the small 3 times at least. We may have hit it 4, but I know for a fact we hit it 3 times. I mean, the table was going crazy. There was 2 other tables open, and we were going nuts. You could see them looking over at us like, what the heck's going over there? The one table that was open first thing in the morning that's where Greg needed to play, because it was an ice cold table. Some of the people that were there earlier were watching it and said that it was terrible. So I think that something that I got out of that, playing with people that none of us consider ourselves dice influencers or being able to control the dice. Maybe some people feel that they might be getting better at it, but I wouldn't think that anybody in our group would say that, they are a master of dice influence. However, I think there's something to be said, and it shows, at least anecdotally, and it's only one point of data, but our 7 players all rolled well above what the statistical average should have been. And I think it's a testament to the fact that we have practice rigs and we get out there and we're trying dice sets and we're, trying to perfect our swing and our different tosses. And I think just doing that takes a couple points of randomness out of a roll. I haven't done the math on it. I don't know how many supposed points of randomness are. You have the bounce of the table, the diamonds, the rotation of the dice, whether they come off axis. There's all these things that influence the randomness of the dice. And if you can eliminate 1 or 2 of them just by, having the exact same toss and knowing where that dice are going to land and with what speed and what velocity, I think it has an effect. And I think it does show just by watching the people that were shooting and how they shoot. You could see it. I called it twice. I called one of mine when I PSO'd. I tossed it and said, that's a bad toss, and it was a 7. Dice DGen Chris, he had a toss one time, and I said, oh, that doesn't look good, because I had seen the way he'd been tossing, and he had a certain landing spot he was hitting, and this one was off to the left by a little bit, probably by a good 6 or 7 inches, and I said, oh, Chris, that doesn't look good, and it ended up being a 7 out. So when you see the way people are tossing and what they're doing, you can tell when they don't toss well, and it has an effect on the dice. So that's kind of what I got out of the trip. It was interesting playing with people that I know at least have a passion for the game and are trying to better their game and do things to increase their odds. Any other time I've been playing, it's the only other person I may have known there was a family member, like a father or my uncle. Neither of them, they just chuck the dice down there to see what happens, and they bet haphazardly. So it was interesting to play at a table where I knew people were trying to influence the dice, because everybody else I've ever been with is more or less a random shooter. Even people that I see, setting the dice. Sometimes I'll see a person, take all this time setting the dice, and then they just wing it down the table, and it's like, why did you even bother taking the time to set the dice? Because you just put all the randomness back in. So that's something I got out of it. Whether you believe in dice influencing or dice control, I think this game was a testament to the fact that it can happen. This is going to be a pretty short video. I don't really know what else to say. I just want to thank everybody that came. It was a blast. Again, if you ever have the opportunity to just bring some friends together and play at the table. So we had 7 of us. I think the most that was ever at the table at any given time was 12. So we always had the majority of the people on the table. On average, I think there was only 10 people on the table. So, we had 70% of the table, just ourselves, all friends, and, yucking it up, ribbing each other, when someone did have a bad toss or they bet something crazy. I made a comment, I think it was in the first shooter, within the first 5 rolls, he had back-to-back hard 10s. And I was like, hey, did anybody do my strategy with, 2 hits on the hard ways? And you could have walked away with over $1,000. Of course, no one had done it because you don't expect those to be results. But, when you have the community there and people know some of the videos you've done, they've watched the different strategies that have been played out, where their mindset is with the way different strategies works. It was fun just to kind of have some banter back and forth about the way things played. We made comment. Sorry again to Greg. Like I said, I have never seen so many points hit. I started out playing the Headless Horseman. The only thing that kept me alive for a while was, fortunately, there was repeater numbers on the come bets that had gone through, but I lost every one of my don't pass bets when I was playing the Headless Horseman. The only thing that paid out was the come bets. And eventually that started losing. I had to switch up my strategy. And like I said, that's a video I'll discuss what I was playing. Waylon's 410 strategy would have crushed. I talked to Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps. Like I said, he had a 40 roller, and I think he said he had something like 9 of his rolls were split between the 4 and the 10. So that, that's 9 out of 40, which is well above the statistical probability of, what it should have. It should have been 1 in 6, and he had almost 1 in 4. So, if you were playing 4 and 10, you would have killed. Unfortunately, I wasn't at the time. I was mostly playing inside numbers. But one of the things we talk about is that, no fear of missing out. I wasn't about to put an extra $30 out there on the 4 and 10 just to, hope that they hit, because ultimately, when you change your bet up, that's when the dice will go against you, and Big Red will come. But all in all, again, the point of this is to say it was a blast. We all walked away winners. Hopefully, other guys that have channels will talk about the event and the different strategies they ran, and how well they did. Again, Jeff, he told me, I think after the second shooter, he's like, I already hit my win goal. I should walk away. I'm done. So it was just good shooting all around. People made lots of money playing. I could have done more had I played a little less conservative. I didn't know what to expect. I'm still considering myself a novice, so I didn't want to go out there and, putting $150 out there and, losing it like that, and then I'd just be sitting there watching the rest of them play. So I was playing pretty conservative. But when I did kind of up my bets a little bit and change the way I was playing, I did end up making some money. So that's really all I got. Thanks for watching. I know there's no rollouts here or anything. I just wanted to talk through this. Thank everybody for coming. I hope we can do it again. Keep an eye out if you're not part of Casino Gaming TV's Discord. Look it up. Get on there. We can talk about that. Link up with some people in Craps Nation. See if you can get on the Skype. They do link ups there. It's based regionally and stuff like that. And even Jeremy's Color Up Club. Join his Color Up Club. There's link ups that people do in there too. They talk about where they're going to different casinos. And as far as I'm concerned, nothing beats it. I would rather go once a month or, every couple months and play like that with a bunch of friends than just roll in randomly and play. So, but that's me, because I also play for the entertainment. It's not all about just winning the money for me. The winning is a bonus. I love craps for the atmosphere, the camaraderie, when the table goes crazy, when, like the ATS hits, or somebody, has a large bet on a hard way and it hits. It's fun, it brings excitement to the table. It's amazing. I love it. That's why I have this channel, to hopefully convey some of that to you and bring you to the table too, so that you can feel some of that madness that happens on the craps table. It's a great time. Again, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope one day to see you on the casino floor.